Okay, hi, welcome to the next class again. I'm Farmer Samson Bole. We will be continuing from where we stopped. We are still looking at the 12 forms of value. The 12 forms of value that you can create around agribusiness. For a recap, we already said that in agribusiness we have production, processing, distribution, and consumption. These are the four major systems that makes it up. And we've already looked at 6 other areas of values that we can create. Now, if you just joined the class and you probably asked for the video and the first video you were sent is this, I would advise that you please hold on, try and go back and watch previous episodes, especially around this. Excuse me, please. So now we go to number 7, the 7th form of value that we can create in agribusiness. So we've looked at 6. So the 7th form of value that we can create in agribusiness is something we call agency. I don't know if this would be so clear, so let me take another marker. It's something we call agency. 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 So what is agency? Somebody rightly said in his mind, act as an agent. So you are not the owner of the value, you are not the owner of the product or whatever it is, so you are not the owner of the value itself. But you know who has the value, you know who needs the value. So you just stay as an in-between by getting a fee, by connecting the owner of the value to those who needs the value, or by collecting the value from who has it and giving it to who needs it. Now, where this is different from resale is in resale you have bought it like you need it, kept it and resold it. In agency, the person you are collecting from knows you are not even the one that needs it, that this is just for the purpose of selling. So you are only collecting when there is a need. When there is no need, you are not collecting. So this is what most people in our industry like to call middlemen. Some people call them middlemen. So middlemen may work here. Some people call them middlemen when they also work as resale, when they create a value in the form of resale. So you can be an agent. You can be an agent either in the area of processing. You know, you have access to Dangote sugar. You know who needs Dangote sugar. You are able to collect from. You are able to use the person that needs Dangote sugar to collect the sugar from Dangote and go and supply to him and still make your profit in between. Or some people even call them at times marketers. But this time around, I don't really want to call you a marketer is because you are not really employed by the owner of the value. Instead, you are working independently. But you just want to connect those that have value to those that need it. I'll give you a perfect example. This is where our agro-tourism. This is where our agro-tourism comes in. I know, for example, there is a company called Farm Tour, and one of the things that Farm Tour does is they take people that need to visit farm and take them to the farm. So Farm Tour does not own the farm, but they are able to connect those that have an interest in something to the place where they can get their interest or questions answered. So you can have a business model around this. You might be the person who has access to the logistics company, people that can help people to carry their goods, but you are not the owner of the logistics company. You are just standing as an in-between, like an agent. An example, though not a perfect one, is Uber. Uber do not own the cars, they do not own the passenger, but they have created a platform where the passengers can meet the cars and get their needs met. We have Nutri-Okpe, hope I'm pronouncing them right. They help us in transporting things from places like Jos, Kano, and all to Lagos. So you realize that what they are simply doing is they are not the owner of the goods, they are not the owner of the thing that they are bringing, but they stand as an in-between. Now, what makes them an agent is they are not just a transportation company providing service. So let me explain that. Instead, they will even help you source for what you want and help you bring it. So they are acting as an agent, because the part of helping you sort is not logistics. So they help you source for what you want and they now help you bring it in. So that is not logistics. The sourcing part is them acting as an agent. Number 8 is what we call audience aggregator. Audience aggregator or aggregation. So there are some of us who have the ability to gather crowds. You have that power to gather crowd. You have people around you. You have a platform, what people today will call social media influencer. You have people around you. So you can just stand as the person, because you have the ability to gather crowd. You can be the person that helps where they use your platform to market things. It's still a value. Or you can even turn it into training sessions. So take for instance, right now on this group, we are over 200. So it's a training session where we are having audience aggregation. If I'm making sense. Now, if there is an opportunity, I can easily take that opportunity and say, let's throw it into this group. If there is a place for something, I can say, let me throw it into this group. Why? I am taking advantage of audience aggregation. So you can even become, because of your ability to gather big audience, some major companies will come up to you and say, oh, help us test run this thing, help us sell this thing because of your ability of audience aggregation. Let me look for another example. You can be somebody like the likes of Cattle Food or Baba Gonars that have lots of smallholder farmers under them. And the bigger research institute like IITA need to test something, they run it through you because they know you have the people. Or they need to get data for something, they come through you because they know you have the people, you have the audience. Or there is somebody that needs to test a new fertilizer they need to sell, they come through you, you have the audience. So you can decide as an agri personnel that what you want to do is audience aggregation, and you have a platform where you can disseminate information. You are into media and all of that, you fall under this space. So it is a value that you can be intentional about creating. Number 8 or number 9, loans. Loans. Now, when I say loan, I know the traditional thought that comes to our mind is you are giving people money as loan and they come back and pay you with interest. Why that can be part of your business model in agriculture, but that is not all of it, or your value proposition in agriculture, but that is not all of it, that is part of it. So, for example, NISA Microfinance Bank in agriculture, they give out loan. But you also know that they do not only give out money, they can also give you equipment as loans that you pay back over time. So that can be a business value in agribusiness where you are giving out loans. It can be giving people equipment that they need and they pay you over time. It can be you help them buy the bus, help them buy the truck, help them buy the machine, help them get their inputs, the agrochemicals, help them buy their seeds, and they pay you over time. And all of that falls around production and processing, apart maybe distribution. Even under consumption, you can see, oh, there are some, what is it called? You go to places like Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Education, any of these ministries, and you tell them, I am a farmer, I am selling tomato, pepper, onions, this, blah, blah, blue. Let me be the one supplying you produce as a loan. And at the end of every month, based on what was supplied, you pay at the end of the month. So you don't need to worry about, what are we going to eat tomorrow? Is there money? Hope I've not exhausted and all of that. No. Instead, you can even provide your food as loan. I supply your tomatoes, month end you pay. I supply your pepper at the end of every week you pay. That is as a loan, different from subscription. In subscription, they pay it down. In loan, they are not paying down, they are paying at the end. And because it is a loan, it means that it is possible to sell something of 10 naira for 12 naira, and the person buying will not feel cheated because they understand it is a loan, and if it is a loan, it should carry an interest rate, a percentage interest rate. So you can have this as a business model where you sell produce ahead like a loan, and they have to pay a little bit higher than the norm because you gave them before time. It's a loan, it's not something they paid for at the beginning. I sincerely hope that makes sense. Number 10. You can create value as an option. So because there's something called option. No, generally an option is something that when people pay for it, they are free to make use of it how they want, when they want, based on your agreed premise. Now, in the case of agriculture, you can create a value that is an option. Take for instance, in Soilless Farm Lab, we have this available. We operate it with some of our customers. We call it the kitchen. We call it the kitchen investment. So the kitchen investment is, we have a list of things we produce: tomatoes, pepper, cabbage, carrots, this and all of that. Now, once the person subscribes and pays the amount at the beginning of the month for this option, they are free. They know the list of what we are going to have that month. They are free to pick up any of those things until they meet the amount of kilos that they are supposed to get. So what I mean, for example, is we sell tomatoes at 400 per kg. We sell colored bell pepper at 2,000 naira per kg. I just want to give examples. We sell habanero pepper at, I think, 700 per kg. What else? Lettuce at 1,000 per kg. So let's say, for example, the option the person went for weekly is 10,000 naira must be spent. This is the option they have picked. Every week we must spend 10,000 naira on your farm. So they have deposited 40,000 for the month as an assumption. Now, based on this premise, then what makes this an option is, at the beginning of the week, they can reach out and say, oh, send me 3 kilograms of this, 1 kilogram of this, that's already 6, 7, let's say 2 of this, 8, then maybe 5 of this, and their 10,000 is met. So an option allows the customer to play around from the options that they have. So they can say, oh, next month, give me the whole everything of 10k of fund of the whole kilogram in form of tomatoes and habanero pepper only. Don't worry about other things. I don't know if I'm making any sense. So you can have a business value model where you allow people to have options. So you create options that they pay for ahead, and they can take it in whatever form of value from the arrays of values that you have for themselves. They say, okay, this is what you want, fine. This is how you want it, fine. This is how you want it. They are all things that you already do. But the important thing is their funds are already with you. So whichever thing they are picking doesn't really matter. They've already paid for it, because I want to ensure that all of this finish in this. Then number 11. Number 11 is insurance. Insurance. Again, under this, there is the traditional insurance of insuring your property or insuring your agricultural processes, either in production, processing, distribution. Where we do not do a lot of insurance as farmers is consumption. So, for example, I think now it's coming up a bit, but not so much, where you can have somebody say, oh, buy my produce, I am giving you an insurance as a farmer that go and test it anywhere. There are no pesticide residue, no chemical residue. So you can create a value around insurance. You can create a value around insurance. You will also make your money around insurance. But before you create a value around insurance, take time to understand the process, so that there are no unknown risks that you did not know about that might put you in trouble, that might jeopardize your business. But insurance is a big area that you can also come into agriculture. Insurance. You can take advantage of insurance. Then finally, because I don't want this to be long, capital. Capital, or money. So you can let your money work for you in agribusiness as a value. So you see a company, a firm that is doing well, you can throw in your money there as an investment. You can throw in your capital there as an investment. So this is around the value system where crowdfunding plays a role. Oh, I give you money, you come back and you pay me back. Yes, they are still part of the agribusiness value chain. Because without money, the farmer may not have the money to do any of these processes or any of these systems. So you can have a business model that you are the one providing the capital. So rather than say, oh, I am giving you for 10% return, 5% return, it can be, I am giving you X and Y amount of money for a depth of, maybe for example, it can be, I'm giving you 100M or I'm giving you 50M. Out of the 50M, take 40M as a loan that you pay back, take 10M as an equity, so I own a percentage of your business. If I'm making any sense. So you can have some as debt, some as equity. It's also a business model in agribusiness. So you look at the person's company that is doing well and think, what can I do to own a part of this thing rather than just enjoy and go? I notice you are the one that is always coming to my company. You are always buying from me, and you have a market you're always selling to. I can also invest in that your process, because you must understand that one of the most important things in agriculture is diversification. Take for instance, in Soiles Farm Lab, we have a lab. Now we are working on our own logistics, our air cargo logistics. While having the air cargo logistics, I am also creating multiple training platforms. We have the online platform people subscribe to based on whenever they want. Now we have this Telegram platform. We are trying to start up the academy. Now the point is, though I am still within the agricultural sector, I am having diversifications. I'm diversifying, because you must understand that as a business, you cannot just depend on a single sole source of income. You must be able to diversify. So with that, we have come to the end of 12 ways to generate income from agribusiness. So it's now a thing of you looking at what you do and how can you generate income from it, or what in your business model, what is your plan in trying to generate income, your revenue structure, because it is very important that you know from day one how you intend to make money. So I will just list them. Number one, we said products. Number two, we said service. Number three, we said shared resource. Number four, we have I think subscription. Number five, we have lease. Number six, we have resale. All of these are values. We have agency. We have agency. We have audience aggregation. That's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We have loan. So we talked about loan. We have option. We have insurance. And we have capital. So you notice that things like logistics that people usually talk about are not showing up here, because it is not about that thing logistics, is about how do you position it to make it make money. Which of these methods are you going to use to make what you are doing make money? I do hope we understand this. So look at your business again. You will notice when I was talking, I talked about the fact that I have a combination of these. I gave an example of the ones I use personally, because I'm saying that so you know it's not that you might have, but if you are picking more than one, ensure that you have a process that follows each. so that you do not do mumbo jumbo. For example, we have products, we have service, we have resale, we have options. These are the ones we have. In short, let me cancel out product. Though we have product, okay, yeah, we have product. So these are the options we have. Now, on the back end, we are trying to work on subscription and also loan. These are the ones we are trying to work on. Subscription, loan. Of course, we have capital, where we invest in other people's businesses. So we have this, and they run parallel. The only thing they have in common is Soilless Farm Lab. So that we have a process for this, process for this, process for this, process for this, and a process for this, all highly differentiated. I do hope you understand what I am saying. So thank you so much for your time. So your assignment is look at your business and see if you can figure out which of these you are using or which of these you need to use so that you have a properly planned business model. I do hope this makes sense. Thank you. Again, you can still tell others that want to join, they can join, just that they would have to go back to watch past videos, and of course they can still submit assignments. I will still look at it and all.